one before? Oh, now I'm getting kind of curious because I keep seeing hands up. Raise your hand if you are on a robotics team. That explains why you know what this is. Okay. So I'm going to just, while they're getting set up, I'm going to just kind of introduce them a little bit and tell you about robotics. Have you guys seen one of these this week?
No.
This week at camp?
Okay,
Yeah, one of the teams that we work with quite regularly was supposed to come yesterday. So we decided to expand ours a little bit, and they're going to try to get as much information about robots and Arduinos today. Okay, so this is an NXT robot. This right here is basically a little tiny. I'm going to wait till everyone is listening. This right here is a little tiny computer. And a regular computer, these students will write a program, or any student can write a program, and then you download the program onto this brick, and then your program can tell this robot what to do. This team, these are two members of an FTC, which is First Tech Challenge team. Their team, an FTC, is for 14 to 18-year-olds. Anyone here 14 years old? Okay. Anyone here 9 years old or older? 9 to 14. Okay. This would be the robot that you would work on if you were on a team. Okay. So this team right here, they're called the Robotics. Do you see their shirts? And do you see their logo? They have Bobo. That's their mascot that they designed. The robot on their shirt. This team started out when they were 9 years old. They're now 16 and 17-year-olds. So 6 years ago, they started out programming and building this robot. And they're going to show you, this is actually a metal robot that they compete with now. So when you get older than 14 and you don't compete on a team with this robot, you can be on a team that designs and builds and programs and drives this robot or one like that. And they'll tell you all about it, okay? So one of your teachers had said that or that we're gonna offer a camp. Because the Roborators have been a team for 6 years, and because they have been to the first World Championship 3 times as competitors, they want to teach other kids how to do robots. So later on this summer, they are going to offer a week-long camp for you and your friends, if your parents want you to do it. And they'll teach you how to build, program, and run a robot like this. So that's what they really like to do, because they love robotics. Raise your hand if you love robotics. Okay, thank you. I was hoping there'd be a lot of people. So they're going to talk to you as soon as they get ready. About how long until you're ready?
Should be pretty soon.
Pretty soon. Okay. Based on what I just told you about, let's take some questions. Does anyone have any questions about the robots? Yes, sir.
You guys have a first robotics team?
A first robotics team?
Yeah.
Is there? Yeah, they are.
First team.
Yes, they are in FTC. Their team number is 7129. They're called Roborators, and they have a website, and they have a Facebook page, and they are, at FOL, they went to the FTC World Festival 3 years ago and was third place overall champions. And then the last 2 years, they had nominations for their engineering notebook, so engineering documentation and programming. Sweet. Okay, another question. Yes, sir. Okay, good question. How long did it take to build that robot? The missions came out the second week in September. They already have designed, and a mission is basically, your robot needs to do this. So they got that information in September of last year. But they started in August building the drivetrain. Do you know what a drivetrain is? Who knows what a drivetrain is? Let's think about it. What is a drivetrain? Anyone know? Take a guess. It's good. It is kind of the main part. Drive. What does that kind of tell you the robot's going to do? Yes, sir. It's going to move. So it's the wheels and it's that whole foundation to your robot. So in August, they started designing their drivetrain, and then they competed in their first competition in December. So it took them about 3 months to design and build your robot, and then they competed in December. Next question. The camp is the last week in July. Yes, ma'am. What's your question? Oh, how many pieces are in this little robot? Joe or Scott, would you like to give us a guess? How many pieces?
57.
57. When he takes it apart, I'll make it count to see it's right, okay? It's a basic, what they call a tri-lot. It has 2 wheels. It might not be considered a tri-lot because it has 2 skids. These are, anyone, what are these called? These pieces are?
Bionicle joints.
Bionicles. Anyone know about bionicles? Raise your hand if you know bionicles. These are fabulous little joint pieces for bionicles, and they act as skids on the mat, so you can actually just kind of drag around. 57 pieces. Next question. I'll come over here. Yes, sir. How many times have they competed? In the last 6, well, I can tell you this. Let me back up. Just this year, this robot's name is C4. C4 has been in 76 matches because they end up going to the finals, and then they get picked up as the Lions, or one time or twice they were the champions of the Alliance. So they ended up, this robot has done 76 matches just in the last 10 months. They compete in 2 Missouri competitions, 2 state competitions. So this year they've done 4 regional competitions. They qualified for 2 state championships, advanced to a regionals, and then, so that's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 competitions this year. Okay, pretty soon I'm going to be done because I think they're ready. What's your question? Whoa, that's craziness. You know what? I bet they can find out because they had it. Raise your hand if you've ever heard of the term CAD. C-A-D. Computer-aided drafting, computer-aided drawing, computer-aided, is that it? Okay, pretty much that. Raise your hand if you've ever heard of CAD. They completely CAD'd this robot, designed it in a computer program, and then told their teammates, this is how you build it. So, anyone build a Lego kit? Tell me if you've ever built a Lego kit. You know those cool books that it goes step by step, the instructions of how to build it? That's kind of what they had for this, except not the instructions. They just had to kind of look on the computer and see what pieces they needed to add next, based on their own design. How many pieces are on that robot?
No idea, but a lot more than 57.
No idea. One of the other questions that people usually ask is, how much did your robot cost this year?
I believe we have about 18 to 2,000.
So this robot is a little bit expensive. Is this robot cheaper or more expensive than your first year robot?
It's actually a lot cheaper, even though it's a little bit bigger. We didn't buy a lot of extra parts because we had the CAD, so we knew exactly what parts we needed to buy before we started building.
Are you ready to go? Because it's time.
Yes.
Okay, so let's put our hands down. If you have questions, there'll be time at the end. Joseph, raise your hand. This is Joseph, and this other one is Scott. So please give them your attention, and they're going to share a lot of cool stuff with you.
Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit about the NXT.